Let me back up. I have 2 kids, 2 boys. They're elementary. And when I was pregnant with my first one, the nickel mine shooting happened. And it kind of made me rethink having kids. I thought, if the Amish aren't safe, there's no way I can keep my child safe. So when Sandy Hook happened, I was just very affected. And I'm sorry. Yes. I was having like anxiety attacks every time the siren would go past my house and the kids are at school because there's a firehouse up the street from me. And so I started calling and asking for my congressman to work on gun control. I contacted Pitts when he was my rep, and then when Smucker came in, I was asking him. I had a meeting with him at his office, and we didn't get to gun control that day, but it was on my list and we had more time. Anyway, the day that Steve Scalise got shot, I thought, now they're going to care. Like, today's the day. Today's the day that things are going to change because one of their own was hurt. And I called that day. I called Smucker's office and I said, look, I see in the news this morning that Steve Scalise is shot, and I'm wondering, what is Lloyd Smucker going to do to keep people safe? Is he going to be willing now to revisit gun control, some sensible gun measures? And they gave me, the runaround where he's just, thanks. He's, I don't know what he thinks and blah, blah, blah. And I said, and they said, we're thinking about, increasing security and stuff. And I said, I don't know. That's not okay. My kids don't get extra security. My husband doesn't get extra security. The day that Steve Scalise was shot, some UPS employee went into his office, was in California, and shot his coworkers. It's not fair. If my kids have to go to school without extra protection, you don't get extra protection because it's in your power to protect your constituents. If you're taking money from the NRA and you're selling us up the river, you don't care how many kids die. But I thought that, since finally one of your own is hurt, because that's the only time you care about anything. And I don't want to see a single dollar of my tax money go for extra security for you. I just, not one red cent. If a disgruntled employee can go into my husband's office and shoot him dead and leave me a widow and my kids fatherless, then anybody should be able to carry a gun onto the floor of the house or into your office. Then maybe you know what we're dealing with. So anyway, this went on, and then they asked for my name and my address, and I gave it to them. And I thought, okay, I made my call. Because I was making my Indivisible calls, my daily actions, doing the whole thing every day. And 2 days later, the police were at my door. On a Saturday morning, I was sitting with my kids watching SpongeBob and my husband. And the police, my 6-year-old went to the door and said, Mommy, it's the police. And my husband went to the door and was like, can I help you? And they were like, is Stephanie there? And he said, yeah. And they said, we need to talk to her. And they took me out on the front porch and they wanted to know, did you contact Lloyd Smucker's office? And, did you threaten him? Did you threaten to bring a gun to his office? Did you threaten blah, blah, blah? I said, no. And they said, well, we have, a complaint. Whoever took the call made a complaint that I was threatening them, using threatening language. They reported me to the Capitol Police. The FBI, a week later, was pounding down my door at 5 after 8 in the morning. Boom, 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 FBI. Boom, 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 FBI. They came to my house. They had me on the porch for an hour and a half. They asked me a million different ways. What did you say? What did you do? How often do you contact Smucker? Oh, you do? You have met with him? You do make your phone calls? Who else have you contacted? Stuff like that. And then they told me that I wasn't supposed to call him or talk to him. They wanted to know if I had plans to travel to Washington. So I stopped making my calls. to an Indivisible meeting until tonight. I haven't liked anything on Facebook because I just don't want that kind of attention brought to the group. And I don't understand. But I feel like, you know, like what happened to me, and then seeing in the news that that guy got arrested at the Toomey town hall the other day, and the woman got arrested for laughing at Jeff Sessions, I'm starting to think it's intimidation.
It is. So there's
because I'm terrified.
No. So let's start by saying thank you for sharing that story, because that was a very difficult story to share. So thank you. Thank you for your bravery and your courage, because what happened to you is absolutely, positively unacceptable on 12 different fronts. So, Stephanie, what I'd like to do is after this meeting, if I can take down your name and your phone number, I'm not going to take your address, but we can talk about the ways in which we can go about rectifying the situation, including contacting the ACLU and other members of Congress who are on the Democratic side to make sure that we are doing what's right for you as a citizen of the United States of America and of Pennsylvania, because this is absolutely, positively unacceptable. And you were, to start at the beginning of your story, you're right to be afraid by what happened in Nickel Mines. You were right to be afraid by what happened here a year ago, where in Sinking Spring, a husband killed his wife and their 3 children in a domestic violence incident. You were right to be afraid by what happened to Steve Scalise and to think that maybe that would knock some sense into somebody for once. But unfortunately, Lloyd Smucker at the state level agreed to allow guns on school playgrounds. He agreed to allow them just about anywhere, to the point where, in my debate with him last fall, he didn't even agree with Senator Toomey's legislation on gun control. That's where he is. He's not moving anywhere. He got paid off by the NRA to win his primary because he thought a Tea Partier was going to steal it from him, and he's never, ever, ever going to go another way. And I will be slammed from now until the end by him and the NRA and the Koch brothers for things like this. But we will not stop until people like you and everyone in our communities feel safe. It's not acceptable, and the intimidation tactics of the police and the FBI and the nerve of that person reporting you for doing your civic duty is absolutely unacceptable, and we will not tolerate it. So thank you for sharing your story, and know that I will personally be fighting for you until we get this straightened out.